अस्सलाम वालेकुम माय डियर स्टूडेंट्स। आज हम बात करेंगे नेगेटिव इंट्रैक्शंस की। तो एनी टाइप ऑफ पॉपुलेशन इंट्रैक्शन इन विच ईदर वन और both the populations are negatively affected, such type of interactions are grouped under negative interactions, or you can say they are antagonistic interactions. Okay, तो यहाँ पे एक हार्म हो जाता है, एक बेनिफिट हो जाता है, यहाँ पे दोनों हार्म हो जाते हैं. So any type of interaction, population interaction, in which either one or both the populations are harmed, such type of interactions are known as negative interactions. There are a number of such negative interactions operating in nature. For example, there is predation, then we have parasitism, competition, and finally amensalism. आज हम थोड़ा बहुत predation के बारे में जानने की कोशिश करेंगे. So predation is a type of antagonistic interaction or negative interaction in which one organism or one population, which is known as predator, it gets benefited, and the other organism, which was usually smaller in size, it gets harmed. Okay. In this type of interaction, the predator, it catches and kills the other organism, which is known as prey, for getting food. Okay, so predation seems very much simple. Here what happens is one organism, which is known as predator, it catches and kills another organism, which is usually small in size, for getting food. Now, what is the ecological importance of predation? Predation basically acts as a conduit of energy transfer to higher trophic levels, which is fixed by plants. यहाँ पे आप देख लीजिए, these are the plants. These plants are taken by the herbivores. So the energy which is present in the plants, the energy which is fixed by plants and stored in them, it moves to herbivores, and then when herbivores are taken by the predators, the energy moves to higher trophic levels. So we can say that predation is a way, it is a conduit, okay, through which energy or by which energy transfers to higher trophic levels. Okay, now predation को अगर हम देखेंगे, you will find that most of the predatory organisms, they belong to animals. Most of the predators, they belong to animals, but there are a few plants which prefer to feed on some small animals. These plants are known as carnivorous plants. Carnivorous plants. Okay, let's move to the other slide and see these carnivorous plants. We have a number of such carnivorous plants. You can here see 4 carnivorous plants. The first one is Nepenthes or pitcher plant. इसमें एक स्पेशल स्ट्रक्चर होता है, पिक्चर लाइक स्ट्रक्चर होता है with a lid. Once the insect gets stuck inside, the pitcher releases the digestive enzymes, the insect is killed, it is digested, and the nitrogenous contents which are present in the animal, small insect for example, they are absorbed by the plant. Then we have urticularia, which is also named as bladderwort. It possesses small bladder like structures which are meant for trapping the insects. Then Drosera or sundew plant, here you can see it possesses special sticky structures, and these sticky structures are meant for trapping the insects. For once the insect lands on these sticky surfaces, they get stuck and are finally digested and absorbed. Then we have the Dionia, which is also known as Venus flytrap. This type of plant, it has some special structures, trap like structures. Okay, जब भी कोई इंसेक्ट इस पे लैंड करता है, जो ये ट्रैप होता है ये बंद हो जाता है. ओके, एंड द इंसेक्ट गेट्स लॉज्ड इनसाइड, and then this insect, it is digested by the secretion of the digestive enzymes. Now, one very important point that you will remember about predation: the animals that eat plants, they are categorized as herbivores, although, but you have to remember that these herbivores, they are not very much different from predators. Okay, the only difference between predation and herbivory का मतलब है जब एक एनिमल एक प्लांट को खाएगा. ओके, जब एक एनिमल एक प्लांट को खाएगा, and in predation what happens, an animal eats another animal. Okay, so the main difference between predation and herbivory is, while as in case of herbivory a plant is taken by an animal, while as in case of predation one animal is taken by the another animal. Okay, for example, a sparrow that eats seeds is no less than a predator. So predation and herbivory, they are somewhat similar. Now the importance of predation in nature. Predation is very much important for a number of reasons. The first one is, besides acting as conduits for transfer of energy that you already know, predation is a way, it is a means of transferring energy in natural ecosystems. The predators keep prey populations under control. जो predators होते हैं, they keep the populations of the preys in the same habitat, they keep them under control. Okay, अगर prey population under control नहीं हो जाएगी तो जो ecological balance है वो disturb हो जाएगी. Okay, for example, the prickly pear cactus, which was an invasive species in Australia. Okay, it has invaded huge tracts of lands in the Australia. It was controlled by the introduction of cactus feeding predator, which was a moth. Okay, this is an indication that, this is a proof that the predators, they keep the populations of prey under control. जैसे कि मैंने आपको कहा, जो prickly pear cactus है ये एक बहुत invasive species थी. Okay, it was a noxious species in Australia and it was controlled by the introduction of this cactus feeding predator. This suggests that the predators, they keep the populations of prey in the natural ecosystems under control. Another importance of predation is, it maintains species diversity in a community by reducing the intensity of competition amongst the competing prey species. For example, ये एक predator है and it preys on a number of species. For example, species A, species B, C, D, and here for example E. Okay, it preys on all these species. If you are going to remove this predator, some of these prey species, because of their high competition power, they can outcompete the rest of species. They can compete with the other prey species and finally they can exclude them. And this results in reduction in species richness, or you can say the species richness of the area, it can go down. So there is nothing wrong in saying that predation maintains species diversity. It does not allow any species to monopolize the whole resources. It does not allow any species to outcompete the other species and becoming dominant. Okay, an experiment has been done by Robert Piani, which is a famous experiment in ecology. What he did, he removed pisaster, starfish. Okay, he removed pisaster, which was the predator. Okay, from rocky intertidal area of American Pacific coast, and he found that this removal of pisaster caused extinction of more than 10 species within a year. उसने क्या किया, ये पिजास्टर था, स्टारफिश थी, it preyed on a number of species. I will not name them species. Okay, I will just represent them by species A, species B, species C, species D, and one another species, I will name that species, that is Mytilus, or you can say mussels. It is a mollusk. क्या हुआ जब उसने इस फिश को, स्टार फिश को रिमूव किया? Okay, he found that within a year Actually there were 16 species. He found that after 1 year time interval, 8 species got extinct because of the competition. Then after a span of 5 years, he found that only this Mytilus remained and all other species were outcompeted. So this experiment proves that the predators, they keep the populations of prey under control and does not allow some prey species to monopolize the whole area, and it does not allow the prey species to become dominant by excluding other species. So predation is very much important in nature. It maintains species diversity and community structure. It balances the ecosystem. So this is all about the concept of predation and the importance of predation in nature. See you soon with a new lesson. Till then, God bless you.